Going on to you Virgos out here. Hopefully y'all are having a great morning, great day. Good morning, by the way. Anyway, so for you Virgos, you have the Queen of Ariel, the Seven of Gabriel, and then you also have the Nine of Gabriel, right? So these three cards right here for you Virgos speak, okay? Let me see. Okay, so the situation for you, Virgos, is that a lot of you Virgos have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things for you Virgos to concentrate or focus on, and you Virgos really don't need that nonsense, you know. Um, I've had some people come back myself that I ain't speak to in years, you know, that left a comment on the channel, right, on some of these videos, and I'm like, I can't believe these people still watch my channel and everything like that, because the way that the way that me and them decided to part ways, or how I decided to part ways, I decided to essentially stay away from them, you know. Um, but the point that I'm trying to make here with that is that if they're coming in with some nonsense, you're gonna have to get them away from you. The Queen of Ariel, right? The Queen of Ariel or Ariel, the Seven of Gabriel, the Nine of Gabriel, right? Things have to be made. Things have to essentially be made empty or be made like open to be received, meaning that you have to clear the way, right, of all the nonsense, like, in order for new things to actually happen to you, right? Using myself as an example, as a Virgo myself, seeing some people that I haven't spoken to literally in 2, 3, 4 years come back, like, but then at the time, you know, I'm not even gonna lie, it felt terrible because you see, because it's you see how it is that they switch up so easily. They was cool, and then the next thing you know, you see how it is that they turn. So then you have the four of Ariel, and then the five of Michael, right? So stay focused on what it is that you got to do. You know what I mean? Stay focused on what you got to do, because at the end of the day, and I'm keeping it a buck. Like, this is why it is that me personally, on a personal level, I want to remake the dating pool, right? I want to essentially disassemble it, or have my part in disassembling it, and then actually rebuild principles, right? Rebuild it, but rebuild it better, because the way that people date nowadays in this dating pool, they're dating from an elitist standpoint. If a person doesn't have money and prestige and look a certain kind of way and clout, then they're not going to be treated as a human being, which is lame. And then it's the ideology of, but you know what I'm saying? It's the ideology of, but whenever it is that you blowing up, that's when people start to hang around you and want to kick it with you, right? Very rarely do a lot of people hang out with you early on. You understand what I'm saying? Especially when you're doing your thing. And that's what it is that I want you Virgos to understand, right? Y'all are doing what it is that you need to do by staying focused and keeping people out of y'all business, because at the end of the day, right, and this is what I mean when I say that this elitist way of dating, do these people even really know you? like a lot of times people like to hang around when Virgos are up, right? But then at the same time, it's like, but what about when it is that we on our grind though? You know, what about the people who try to laugh at our failures and everything like that? And, you know, a lot of the times when people date, they dating from a perspective of an oligarchist, classist, elitist way of dating. Is hogwash because the you know what I'm saying, you know, the people in my family, bless them, and you know, and much respect to them and everything like that, you know, come from humble beginnings in the sense that we ain't need all of this lifestyle inflation that a lot of people scream and bawl to have. You know what I'm saying? In on social media, you know, they need all this luxury and all this other type of stuff. So I'm saying all that. Why am I saying all that to you, Virgos? I'm saying all that to say, again, stay focused, because you Virgos stop hanging out with people that will give you a difficult time and that you stopped hanging out with for a reason. It's because they didn't really see what it is that you saw. They didn't want to trust you when it is that you Virgos was actually doing something, you know? And this is what I mean when I say that it's that weird mix of they cool with you one minute and then they not cool with you the next, but then they cool with you. But then, you know, they hanging around you, but then they not cool with you. And it's like, don't do you Virgos any favors, you know? Because me personally, I take friendship seriously. Don't be a turncoat and then you hanging around me, but then you expect me to, hey, you know, still be friendly with you. Nah, that ain't gonna go down how you think it is. I'm gonna tell you to get lost. You dig what I'm saying? And if I see you again, it's gonna be hostile every single time. I'm gonna question why you here. I'm gonna tell you to F off. I'm gonna tell you to get lost. I'm not gonna trust you. You and I, we don't speak the same language because of the fact that there's a such thing called loyalty for me. And you being disloyal and all over the place, here, all over the place. And that's how it is that people want to play with you Virgos. You know what I mean? Some of you are just maybe not as serious about loyalty as I am, but that's how it is that they playing with y'all. Because the two of Ariel and the 10 of Michael speaks to how it gets frustrating, you know? How it is that you know, people come around when you're doing real good. But you Virgos are always, especially you Virgos that strive to do better or whatnot, what's the difference? What's the difference between you Virgos 4 or 5 years ago versus you Virgos now? You Virgos have changed and gotten better in certain ways, but in certain core principles, you Virgos are still the same. Like, you know how when people change in a sense of like, they change from like a perspective of they let the money make them? That's not how it is that you Virgos have changed. You Virgos have changed in principle and non-physical lifestyle things. You know what I mean? Think spiritually, soulfully. And it's like, it's funny how it is that people will choose to not rock with you when you're the same person in certain ways. You know, when they choose to rock with you, you're the same person in certain ways, right? That you were 3, 4, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, or whatever. But now it's like, oh, they like your style now. But it's like you were moving like that those years ago in that way. What happened is that their options dried up because those people never had the same vision that you Virgos did. And that's the thing that's messing them up, because the solutions right here represent how you Virgos have made peace with that, though. This is the reason why, you know, people can't scare you with the okie doke, right? See, peace. You made, and this was before I even looked at the card. You Virgos made peace with the fact that, people will try to scare you using the whole you're going to be alone, you're going to be by yourself piece. You're going to be by yourself if you don't watch out. You're going to do this, you're going to do that. It's scary being by yourselves. But again, Virgo is the zodiac sign that gets ignored. So what are we talking about? How many times will Virgo say something and that people will deliberately not listen to what it is that we have to say, or intentionally not pay attention to what we have to say, don't listen, whatever. And then it's like we trying to tell them something and they legitimately not trying to hear anything that we talking about. But then when they need help, since we're like the doctors and like the nurses of the zodiac sign or whatever, we know how to fix people up, stitch people up, put people, patch people up, right? It's like a hospital. We can help people heal and stuff like this to a certain extent. And then fix them from whatever kind of injuries they have, right? Because we whatever. And then what happens is that we send them on their way. What happens? People need a quick fix, and then they come. So because of that, they come to us, expecting us Virgos to be cool with it. And see, then the thing is that the 10 of Ariel is about how, again, we're comfortable. A lot of us Virgos, we got to be comfortable succeeding and failing with the group of people that believe in us long and not believe, but know us long before we get to where it is that we really want to go. And that's one thing that a lot of us Virgos are learning to do, that the person, forget about all of this wanting to only hang out with us when we're at the finish line. The person is either going to sign up when the stock is cheap. Otherwise, they get nothing when the stock goes up, when our stock goes up. It is not optional. They have to put in early because, they be giving you Virgos an unnecessarily difficult time. A lot of that stuff is fabricated. A lot of the nonsense is fabricated, and truth be told, it's really unnecessary. It really is. So let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify the solutions. 7 of Cups, 4 of Cups, Lovers, the Page of Wands, and then you have the Tower card. Yeah, because they're unnecessarily hard to date, hard to get to know, hard to interact with. And then the Lovers, the 10 of Wands, and the Tower card represents how, but a lot of us Virgos were always moving with integrity and grace and class. We should have been trusted, what I'm trying to say. But they didn't trust us, right? We was telling them the truth about what it is that we had some of the, not everything, but some of the things that we had in mind. They ain't want to believe it. Well, then it is what it is for them. Let's clarify the Peace card, right? This is the reason why us Virgos are so comfortable, being single right now. The being single in on itself is a Virgo thing. Being single, especially to heal, is a Virgo thing. So let's clarify Peace card. All right. Fool card, 2 of Pentacles, the Moon, the Queen of Pentacles, and then you Virgos have the 5 of Swords, right? So this is what I'm talking about, right? Not only are you at peace, but this is the reason why you're able to move forward, because you Virgos are at peace moving forward from stuck-up people that don't want to give you the time of the day, or, they can't get over themselves. Because let me explain something to you Virgos. Let me know in the comment section how many times, right, you have met stuck-up, conceited people with you or whatever the case may be, and they really go above and beyond. You know what I mean? They really making themselves look crazy, being stupid, doing all types of antics and tactics for stuff, and they look like they got a chip on their shoulder, or they look like they got a problem. Because I'm sure I'm not the only Virgo that has experienced this, where it's like, you try to actually like speak to people, but it's like they're ignoring you, and they think that they too attractive to say something, and they spend so much time ignoring you, and it just looks like they don't know how to socialize with people. You know what I mean? And how I know this is because, Cameron, Dipset, but it's a New York thing. But Cameron, right? Now Dipset isn't one of my favorite groups. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, even though Dipset is New York or whatever, Nas is one of my favorite hip hop artists or rappers, if you ask me. Nas is. The Dipset individuals wasn't even in my top five. None of them are in my top five. My top five don't have to be your top five, but my top five is in no particular order. So any one of these could be number one or two or three. Just use your imagination. It's Nas, Biggie, Nipsey Hussle, Kendrick Lamar, and Snow the Product. You know what I'm saying? So the point that I'm trying to make here with that is that Cameron from Dipset, right? If you're from New York, or if you know what I'm talking about, he's not even a Virgo. He's an Aquarius, and he's been rich for years, and he's talked about how it is that, like, a lot of these individuals who are very attractive, they stuck up, they have a terrible mentality, and the way they go about handling things is terrible because they have no personality. This is what I'm talking about. So all the times that people tried to make it seem as if us Virgos was losing our mind because, it's just that whatever, whatever it is that we got working, this elitist mentality of whatever it is that us Virgos had going on wasn't enough. Cameron and amongst other people basically broke the news on it. Like, it don't matter how rich you are, the person still ain't gonna go ahead and develop a personality. They still don't know how to talk to people. They still keep their face in their phone. They still don't know how to speak to people. They still don't know how to have a conversation. They still don't know how to keep one up. You know what I'm saying? They still don't. And Cameron said he's going to have to do 50-50. And Cameron has been rich for years. So what are we talking about? What did I say? I said, what have I been saying? I said, rich individuals want you to pay a bill too. They want you to figure out a way to chip in too. I said, that's delusional to think that you're gonna stick up underneath a rich individual and you just don't ever pay anything. Even the rich individuals are like, well, we living together. Yeah, we living in a mansion, but you can pay a light bill. You can pay for the groceries around this mug. You can pay the car note around this mug. Okay, well, you probably ain't gonna have car notes, but you can pay for the groceries around this mug. Now, why does this have to do with anything? You Virgos know what time it is. You know that a lot of other people's delusions about you and the difficult time that you Virgos have had with others because they don't know how to socialize. You Virgos know what the reality is. That how they treated you is not reality. And the Queen of Pentacles and the Five of Swords, and you Virgos know, look at how it is that they turned out, how they have to return to you, right? Again, it's exactly like what Freemasons would say. And I'm not a Freemason, I'm a Moorish American, but the Freemasons get their practices from Moorish science. Show and prove. The stone that the builders reject will become the cornerstone, meaning that people spend so much time rejecting and disrespecting the person, right? People for no reason. And those people work on handling their business, and they keep their nose straight. They keep their nose out of problems. They stay focused on what it is that they got to do. And lo and behold, all these high fancy individuals that spend so much time being high up on a pedestal and fancy, now they need to look at those individuals that they spent so much time trashing now for guidance and leadership. And then now that's if the person wants to do it, especially for the way that you treated them, you know. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Peace.